talking about LinkedIn, which is a tool for finding jobs. I know that we normally have a resume that we enter to everyone in person or digital, but LinkedIn is like a visual resume of yourself. And a lot of recruiters have their eyes put in this LinkedIn. So today I'm going to be discussing an overview of LinkedIn, effective use, how to get your profile noticed by recruiters, what a recruiter wants to see in your profile, and I'm going to give you some tips for your profile. So LinkedIn is an American website application. It's basically employee-oriented for professionals. So in here, you can seek for jobs, and also employers post different kinds of jobs. It was founded in 2002. It was launched in 2003, but since 2016, it's owned by Microsoft. This is a really good data from 2019. So 645 million members in 200 countries have a LinkedIn profile. So can you imagine how many networks you can have access to within your country and worldwide? This is kind of amazing. So let's start with how to get the best from LinkedIn. And for this, I'm going to be showing you 9 ways to get the best of LinkedIn. And the first one is complete your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn has a bar that goes from red to yellow and from yellow to green. And this basically verifies the strength of your profile. And if you fill out all this information, it will be moving on. So it will be include a profile photo of yourself that is a good quality one, add some background image, and this background image could reflect your personality or what you work on, your profession, your volunteering work. You can mention your industry that you are interested in, the location that you want to work on or do you work before in your headline. The summary, I'm going to be adding more details of this part on the next slides. So in the summary, who you are, what you do, and what you have to offer to different companies. You can add in there what's your current position and some history of your past works, your educational details, different kind of skills that you possess as a person and as a professional. Also, contact and connect with other LinkedIns. The more you add people into your network, the more access you're going to have to others' networkings. So this is really good to exchange different kind of opinions and different kinds of experience that we have. Start talking. So LinkedIn has like a green circle on the bottom of the profile picture that indicates that the person is online. So in this part, we could actually identify if a person is available to have messaging. So you can start a real-time conversation and exchange, hey, I would like to have a collaboration on this part, or I like this topic that you were talking about, your research. And you can start building up some conversation. Give and receive recommendation and endorsement. So there is a section that includes all your skills, and this will confirm that you possess these skills. So if you enter into a profile, you can actually endorse someone else's skills, and this will be good for everyone when the recruiter is looking for a person that is actually have built skills like leadership or program management, depending on the work that you're seeking for. Also use linking groups. So you can develop your professional networks, but also you can follow linking groups. So they have different kinds of information that is valuable, and you can add different ideas, you can support them, you can comment in this kind of groups, and this will add you to more networkings of people that are interested in your same comments and ideas. So create engaging content, especially for linking. I'm going to make a little pause here, and it's important to know that LinkedIn is a professional page. Basically, it's not a Facebook, it's not a dating page. So we want to make sure that the posts are useful, informative, and they're relevant. So if you are commenting on someone else's post, or you are sharing a post, try to brush a little bit your writing skills. And if you're posting, you can use the hashtag. Sometimes we think hashtags are not professionals, but this could open you to more people that are interested in what you really like, different kinds of company, different types of topics, volunteering, IEEE, and all these people that are interested in this kind of content can have access to your post. And that way you will get a little bit more exposure. Find new hires and new opportunities. So LinkedIn has a recruiter plan, and what it does is it gives them a list of candidates, and depending on the words that you have, keywords that you have in there, your work experience, you go from the top to the bottom and so on. So basically, it helps recruiter find the adequate person for the company. It also helps a person to look for a job. So if you open a industry page, you go in there, there is an area that tells you, okay, job openings. So you just click in there, and you can see all the openings they have. You can submit your resume, and you can also tell them, I'm open to work, and here is my LinkedIn page. You can contact me anytime, and start having that one-on-one conversation with the recruiters. Boost your organization profile. So if you have a company, and any kind of company, engineering company, you can create a linking page. And what this does is help you to have an analytic data, because it gives you like a bar, who visited you, what kind of posts they were more interested in, and this could help you target the content a little bit more efficient for future posts. Also observe the professional etiquette on LinkedIn. So this part is very, very important. I think one of the most important thing a person needs to have is to be loyal. So if you're working for a company, there's some things that you can mention depending on the countries, depending on the place you're writing on what different persons you're writing. So honesty is the best policy for everyone. So please be aware to what you mention from your company and where. So this is a very good question that I think everyone does, and is how to get noticed by a recruiter on LinkedIn. And first of all, you need to go to the jobs tab, and in there you have a career interest that you need to turn on. If you turn on that part, all of them are going to, if you have test engineer as a position and they're seeking for a test engineer, they will say, okay, a person is open for a job opening over there in Puerto Rico, to put an example. And in there, you can type any notes that you want to include for the recruiters. any job titles that you're interested in or have experience on, any industry, location. If you're willing to move from your country to another country, you can type it in there. I'm willing to move to these other countries. And this information, only you and the recruiters are going to see it. So no one else will see this if they open your profile. Optimize your profile so you can attach your resume to your LinkedIn, and you can also build it up in your profile. Add some keywords in your skills. For example, project manager, and you can have up to 50 skills, but for at least 4 that you have that are pretty strong, and talk about what kind of job you're interested in is good. And also include like a description of your job and a summary of yourself. So for the headline, this needs to reflect what you do and what you can do. I think these are two different things, because probably I work as a test engineer, but I could work as a software engineer and as well as a hardware engineer, and I'm interested in doing either way. So here I have an example of graphic designer with experience in corporate branding and a passion for web design. So this person is telling that he has experience in corporate branding, but he would like to work on web design. So this is very important if you want to capture their attention. They'll say, okay, this person have this experience, but is willing to work on this area, or it also have this kind of experience as well. And add a profile picture. Always smile, wear professional attire, use neutral color clothing, and you need to be the focus of it. So over here I have an example. And if we look at these examples over here, they all have different things in common. And one of them is their clothing is a professional attire. The colors are dark. They're not either kind of neutral. The background is blurry, so the point of focus is themselves. And also they're all smiling. Even the person that is on the bottom left, he is smiling. He's not using his teeth, but he's smiling. And I think the smile is really important because you are inviting the person to enter to your profile and to look into what you have in there. So try always to put a professional picture, and this is going to be your first impact when they open up your profile. And start building your networks. So you can start joining different kinds of groups. Over here, I added some of I.E.E.E.'s pages. There are plenty of them in there. But you can start adding these groups and verify what kind of activities they have, what kind of posts they include. You can even add your volunteer work in these kind of companies or organizations, and talk a little more of what is your interest. And when they look into your page, you will see, okay, this person is interested in volunteering in I.E.E.E. and is doing all this kind of stuff. And probably you got a comment like, oh yeah, she likes aerospace companies, and she has different pages of this part. Her posts are adequate for this kind of positions that she likes. So we talk about how to get noticed by a recruiter, but what a recruiter wants to see on your LinkedIn. And I think everyone did this question to themselves at least once. So first of all, if you go to a job fair or enter your resume in person or digital, they will check if you have a LinkedIn profile. And the reason is because you can include more information in there that is not in your resume. So they will look a little bit of what is your personality, what you're willing to work on, what you like, and all this other information that probably few pages of your resume couldn't hold. They're going to check the completeness. So as I mentioned before, verify your bar, that is all the way to advanced. One of the things that they notice is their network. At least we need to have 50 networks connected to our page. It could be more than 100, but it's not recommended to have less than 50. It could say different things of yourself. It could say, okay, probably I'm not good at networking. It could say, I'm not a person that, is willing to have different types of communication, or I'm new at linking, because that could be another part that they can ask themselves, probably how much time you've been using linking. If you've been using with linking for 3 years, then they're expecting for you to have more than 50 connections. So over here, this part is important to have action words on your descriptions. High performer, and what actually moves you. You're energetic, you are passionate of what you're doing. And the evidence of this is your work. So you can explain it and describe it in your summary or in each one of your work experience. So try to demonstrate what passion you about your work, about your volunteering work. And that will actually get them engaged. They're going to get them engaged to your page, and wants to see you more, probably offer you a job. So over here, this is the summary tip. So this is on the top of your page. When they open your page, it's like a little bit of wording of who you are, who you help, how you help them. So in here, you can have a little bit of personal information in there. Like for example, since I was a little girl, I liked math and science. And my mom always told me that I was good for engineering. Probably I never thought I was going to be an engineer, but I am passionate of doing this. I know that every part of this job is a part of me. So you get like an impact word at the beginning, like, hey, I like this since I was a little girl. And my family noticed that I'm good for this, and this is what I'm doing now. And then you will start talking about your experience and what kind of stuff you do on a daily basis. And my recommendation is to include the email on the bottom in case they don't go to your entire LinkedIn profile. At least they have the email over there, and they will send you a job opening. Hey, we have this available, and I think it's good for you. And the other one will be the linking recommendations. So always remember that you need to treat this page as professional as is your career. So over here you have all your information from your career, all the information from your volunteering job, and you have connections from your work, probably your volunteering peers. And it's good to have this kind of information as professional as we can get it. And we can also ask for recommendation. Feel free to tell them, hey, recommend me and my LinkedIn page. I think these people that we know could talk about us better than we do. So over here, I'm going to be giving you guys some profile tips. So let's start with the work experience. So in here, we can include the title. For example, I'm a test engineer at any other companies. And in there, you can include a headline, and this is the most important part. As I mentioned before, you can say, okay, I'm experienced, I'm a test engineer, and within the test engineering roles, we are a person that could verify like every detail during testing. But besides that, I can do software. I've been leading a group of software. I am, and you can add that kind of information in your headline. And if there are job openings for test engineer and for software engineer, they can both tell you, hey, I have this that goes with your experience. So over here, and this is the most important part of the work description, of the work experience, is the work description, and it's the if you had any accomplishment within the company. If I saved, to put a number, $1 million for the company, then I could add that number in there. That would be something that tells the recruiters, hey, I am pro company, and $1 million is something that is really good for any company. So they're going to be interested in you. I completed 100% of tests in 2 weeks. And you keep adding this kind of information, and the more they see numbers, the more interest they're going to be in you as an employer. An employee, I'm sorry. Then we have the education. So in here, you can include your bachelor degree, associate degrees, master's, and PhD. And if your GPA is in a good standing, you can mention in there, I have a 4.0 GPA. And it took me 3 years to do a bachelor degree. So you put there, started this year, and I ended up this year my bachelor degrees. And it is important that you include in there the activities and the societies that you follow. I was part of I.E.E.E., and I volunteer in the student branch, and as well, I was part of the volleyball team, and they're going to be looking like, oh, so this person can manage different kind of things at the same time. So basically, it will be okay. So they play, they have these organizations, and as well, it has a 4.0. So that's a good highlight for your education, especially if you don't have a lot of work experience. So in here, also, you can include any awards that you received during your education, the talents and ability that you possess as a person and as a professional. And also you can include any media. So like if you have a really good project, or you have a publication, or anything else that you think that is a really good highlight for your education, you can also attach that media in there. There is a section for license and certification. Not everyone uses this section for some reason. So if you go to add profile section and you go to the plus on the bottom that says license and certifications, in there you can put if you have it EIT, PE, if PM certificate, if I have any awards that I received from my company that is outstanding, I can include it in there and say, I got this award, and a description of why you got that license and award. Like I'm a PE, and I've been a PE for 20 years. And in that part is going to give a little bit more stinks to your profile. So this is my favorite section, is the volunteer section. So in here, you need to highlight your passion. And if you are volunteering on I.E.E.E. or any other company, it's because you like what you're doing, and you like this organization has a cause that moves you. So it's good to add in there what roles you play within this organization, what causes you were part of, what kind of implementations or positive changes you did to this organization. And if you don't have any work experience or a little experience, let me tell you, 41% of the companies find volunteer jobs work just as vital as the paid work. So this volunteer work, it will just have the same weight as work experience. It will give you some time to have conversation of what you did, and it's the same way as a work experience. So basically, this is a professional web, that it will help you to have some professional experience, like share your professional experience and learn from someone else's experience, and also be posted among any professionals and companies around the world. And basically, it could help you, get exposed worldwide. So I think it's a really good way to have our page and to, get this kind of inputs and tips in there just to expose yourself as you really would like to. And that'll be it for my presentation for today. So any questions?
Thank you, Abigail.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have a question here. The first one is, are there any differences on the profile picture depending on the position a person is applying to?
So are there any differences on the profile picture depending on the position? No, there's no differences. Even though, depending on every job that you're seeking for, it's good to have a professional photo that you have a good clothing on, it is neutral, and you are smiling. And so for any kind of job, I think this is the same metric that we need to follow, and that will open to any kind of job opportunities.
Thank you. There's another one. How can we show that we know English?
So there is an area that you mentioned your languages, and you actually can add if you are advanced, proficient in this language. And you can add in there, okay, so my first language is Spanish, and my second language is English, but I'm proficient in this language as well as I'm in English. That is my native language. So that's one of the ways. And the second way is when you are having any post, how you need to brush up your writing skills and add in there like all this information in English. Okay, if I'm going to post 5 things in a week, 3 of them I can make it in English, and that way I can demonstrate that I'm bilingual and I have this kind of information, writing skills, and different kind of information in there.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, there's another one here. No, I'm sorry. Are there any suggestions to increase the visibility in order to search for a remote job position?
Yes. So you can increase your visibility basically adding hashtags. I know it probably doesn't sound too professional, but you can place your resume open, public, and add in there seeking for a job in any industry, and add all these hashtags like what companies you're interested in or what kind of industry you're interested in.
Okay, thank you. We have questions in the chat as well. I'm going to jump in to the chat in a little bit. There is another one. I am at the end of my under degree. Can you give me some advice of how can I start in LinkedIn? My only working experience was 2 practices. Would that count?
Of course. So when I started my LinkedIn and I had no work experience, um, I added 2 interns that I did in the States. So that was my experience in my volunteering work in the university. So that is part of what you can talk in a interview. So yes, included in there, and highlight what was your best part or your highlights from that practices that you had in there.
Excellent. Um, Okay, and also I would like to add to that that if you are an IEEE volunteer, you can also add your experience as volunteer. That's gonna count for the first job.
Definitely.
Um, we have another question here. How important is LinkedIn Premium?
So there is no difference between the premium and the regular one. You could have more access to different pages that probably will be a little bit more difficult to find it in a regular page. So my recommendation is that you don't have to, like invest in the premium because the regular profile it could allow you with the same information and could expose you to the same people that a premium expose you.
Is really needed to put my email or CV available to everyone? I mean, for privacy matters.
You don't have to add your resume in there, but you could add information when you are opening to a job in the job tab. You can add in there some information in regards to your resume. So in there, you can tell the recruiters if you are interested in seeing more details of my resume, just contact me and I could just send it to you.
Thank you. How does the number of one's network affect chances to attract prospective employers?
So if you have less than 50, it will actually turn them down because when you're working in a company, you have teamwork. Even though you're working from home, you have different kind of teamwork. And if you are not good at networking and having different people that have your common interest, it will have them asking themselves like, do we really need a person that doesn't do teamwork or doesn't like to network, and we need to have demonstrate that we need or we can communicate with different kind of people of common interest.
Thank you. Is it recommendable to have a LinkedIn profile if I don't have any work experience yet?
Yes, you can highlight your education in there. Um, any activities, if you are part of the student branch and you're building different activities and you increase this number of volunteers in there or members for IEEE, you can highlight your education anytime and your volunteering works as well.
Perfect. So we have another in the Q&A. If I already have a professional e-portfolio on a website page, my personal case is Wix, there's something I could do to to relate this website on LinkedIn.
Yes, there is a section where you can include a website of, of yourself. You can include your email, you can include your website. So you can add a link and tell them, hey, I have this information in here that is a little bit more valuable. So visit my web page. Also, you can add it on the summary as well.
When building a network, how do you treat people who accepted your connection but never reply to your messages? That's a good one.
Yeah, it really a good one. But it's always good to send another message and say like, hey, ask some questions that could actually help you connect with them. um, Wait like a week or so and say, hey, I saw that you posted this kind of information, you public this information. I'm interested in this kind of information. And you start building networking. Also, this happens with the recruiter a lot. So if you contact a recruiter, they are not going to answer. But if you have their email or their messaging, you can always send a message like a reminder like, hey, I'm here. And you can tell them, hey, I'm interested in this kind of position or in this kind of networking because of this reason.
Perfect. Would it be a good advice to fill up your profile with the 50 skills available, even though some skills are similar?
What was your question again?
Would it be a good advice to fill up your profile with the 50 skills available, even though some skills are similar?
Yes, you can fill out 50, which is the total right now. But make sure that someone endorse one of those skills. That will make a highlight on your best skill or your strongest skills. So I think that will be my recommendation for that part.
Perfect. There's another one here. Could you give me some tips to find a job abroad? I mean, in another country?
Oh, definitely. That's a good question. So if you want to seek a job in a different country, one of the recommendations is that you can add it in your headline. And also you can add it in the message that you're sending to the recruiters. What happened with the headlines is that when I put the example of the graphic designer, you can add in there, I'm a test engineer that is willing to work worldwide. And that way you will highlight in there when they are having the list, they will say, okay, this person is from, to put an example, Colombia, but is willing to work worldwide. So I can just verify their experience because I see that is a test engineer, for example. So just highlight in your headline that you're willing to work worldwide.
And there is an extra thing that I would like to suggest. There is a jobs box in the LinkedIn. I mean that you can just go and look around what is available and just shoot for the stars. Who knows?
Yeah, and what you mentioned right now is really good. And it's because you need to start following different industry of interest, because that way, when you look for the jobs, you will have those openings first, and then the rest of the companies.
Remember that LinkedIn is a social network. It's like Instagram. You like this or that company, follow it and start following whatever your interests are. And suddenly you will see that the opportunities and the jobs and the publications are of your interest. And that's how you open your mind to whatever is outside. Okay. Well, Abby, I think those are all the questions that we have for today. We had a lot of questions here. That's very good. If there is any other question here, would you like to have like your email address? Oh, this is hold on. We have a couple more minutes. Here is another one. LinkedIn could help me if I'm looking for a scholarship to do a master degree in another country.
Oh yes, I'm glad that they asked this question.
Yes.
So you can follow the universities as well. So same way as the job openings for different industry, the university as well have their sponsorships. They have what they are offering, and you can apply through LinkedIn. So you need to follow this university of interest and verify what they are offering, and just send your resume and all your information up.
And I would like to add something to this, and this is because I'm very IEEE. So once you find the opportunity, once you find the university and everything, remember that we have Collaboratech. So in Collaboratech, you can find mentors in that university, you can find professors and send them messages. Try to find from them what can you do in like an extra thing to get that scholarship. Okay, oh my gosh, we have more questions. Okay. So English isn't my native language and my profile isn't in English as well. But I want to create network with people that live in other countries. Can I apply a profile for two languages?
Yes, LinkedIn has on the top where the tab are, you can change your profile from different languages. So it can be changed to Spanish, it can be changed to English, and any other languages of your interest. And they can understand what you're writing in either English or Spanish in your profile.
Okay. And about the scholarships, does that include finding postdoctoral positions too?
Of course. In the university, they post different kind of positions. Well, they are going to tell you when it's in this part of postdoctoral, they are going to tell you what are their interests. Like, for example, if there's a electrical engineering university and they are really good in power system and power cycle, they have a area that they say, okay, offering postdoctoral, these are the professors that are willing to sponsor this kind of research. And you can even send them an email and say, hey, I'm interested in this area and this is my experience. And I think that my different publications could help out in this kind of investigations that you're having in the university. So yeah, it helps a lot
Thank
in
you.
that part.
Here comes a very simple question, but I think it's very important. How can I get recommendations? Should I ask for them? Same question for endorsement.
Okay, so yeah, I get this question, and it's because sometimes we don't receive any recommendations or endorsement. So feel free to tell your peers and your like volunteer peers or your work peers and tell them, hey, can you please help me in the endorsement or recommendation? Can you add any comments on how am I with the teamwork or leadership skills? And when this person gives you this kind of endorsement and recommendation, you can give them back. And we start making this kind of chain, and that way we can just teach people to do it naturally. But don't feel
Um,
afraid to just ask for them.
and I would like to add to that that if you are looking for some job abroad or you would like them to be in English, ask for the recommendations in English in case it is possible. So
Definitely.
there's another one very interesting regarding LinkedIn Premium. Don't do they prioritize for resume on the recruiter searches? Your resume
The
on the recruiter searches. I'm sorry.
For the premium.
Yes.
So basically, when the recruiters are paying for these packages, like a package that they receive, they do have two different kinds of groups: the premium groups and the regular groups, and they have their own highlights. So if you are in a premium group, then you are going to be highlighted in there if you're really good on what you do. And if you're in the regular part, you're going to be highlighted. So there's no differences between this premium and this regular profile because they're going to be measured differently.
One thing that we learned not too long ago in the section is that you want to start adding some catchy words in your profile. Some the regular team working related and some catchy words for your recruiter to notice you, because sometimes they just scroll down and they look for a specific uh, profile features or catchy words again.
Yeah,
Um,
and as I mentioned in the presentation, there are different keywords depending on the job position you're seeking for. So if you're interested in project management or program management, you can add in there, okay, program management, and this kind of works in your summary is what pop-ups in their list of candidates. So they will say, okay, from the words that I was looking for, I have 20 in here. So they're going to be interested in entering to your linking page.
Perfect. Abby, I will need to do this question now in the recording. We are recording. Are you okay if we share the recording with the attendees? They are asking, they are saying that this is an excellent
Yes, it's
presentation.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, There is another one here. If I am a student of bachelor's degree, could I get a job as an intern?
If I'm a student of bachelor degree, can I? Of course. Yeah. So there are different kinds of jobs that you could search for. It could be intern or it could be a co-op during bachelor degrees. And this could open you a lot of doors when you ended up your bachelor degrees. So go for it. Don't feel free and like kind of worried if you don't have this kind of experience.
Perfect. Okay, thank you everybody for your words for Abigail. You can read the chat and the Q&A. Abby, they're saying that this was excellent, that very great information and congratulations. And well, I will take this moment to thank you again, Abigail. This is a tremendous presentation, and thank you for being our first presenter in this round of presentations for the professional development. And and thank you very much. And thank you, the White Young Professionals Industry Engagement Committee and Women Engineering Committee for making this program possible. Thank you, Abigail.
Thank you for having me and for this opportunity, and thank you everyone for attending.